Hello everyone, welcome to another track guide for the oNiD Simhound Academy, and we are at Bahrain WEC and we are in the LMP2 car. There was already a GT3 track guide up, so if that's the one you need, go find it on the channel. If it's the LMP2 you're driving, you're in the right place. Track conditions are 24-degree ambient at 10 PM at night, no idea what the track temperature is. The car is in full fuel, and as you see I've done 5 laps to warm up, because some of you asked, I think it was a high 1 minute 52 time, but this is more just to help you get used to where to brake and get you familiar with the track. So we will get going. The LMP2s here do run a really low gear ratio, so you will top out quite quickly. You want to keep to the left, looking for the braking point for T1, and as with the GT3, just after the 150 board there is a concrete slip road on the left. You want to be using that as your reference. I brake just before it because that helps me get turned in better, but as you want to do is you want to get down, get turned in, because you want to be cutting this inside curb quite aggressively but not enough to break track limits. So as you approach curb you want to come off the brakes completely, let the car roll freely because it will turn in better that way, and as you come off the curb is when you want to be getting back on the power. You want to get over to the right a bit to open up the left hand corner. You can cut this quite aggressively, make sure you don't break track limits. You will do it a few times, you will find what the limit is. You can use the exit curb, but make sure you don't cut this bit too much because again you can break track limits. You want to be coming over to the left, ready for your brake point into T4, which again there's a concrete slip road just after the 150. Use that as your braking reference, either just before, just after, or directly on it. As you see, as I hit the slip road I will get on the brakes. I'm going to get all the way down, get turned in, because again you want to cut this inside curb, not too aggressively that you'll break track limits. I missed the apex bit because as you head I had a teeny lock up, and as you come off the curb you want to be on the power. You can use this exit curb but it will unsettle the car, so try avoid it. Your braking point for this corner is just after this apex. Ignore the barrier, will be took out. So just after this apex is when you want to be hitting the brakes. As you will see, as I pass it I start getting on the brakes, turned in, get your right hand side wheels over the curb, let it roll round, then start feathering the throttle, get on the power, try get to the right as much as you can to open up the left hander. Exact same with this, you want left hand side wheels on, make sure you don't break track limits, feather the throttle, and when you've got enough grip you want to be on the power fully. You can use that curb but I would avoid it because it can unsettle the car. Ready for your braking point for the hairpin, which is as the curb starts on the left. And you want to be all the way down, turning in nice and early to cut this inside curb again. As you approach it, again come off the brakes, let the car roll around freely. As you come off, get on the power nice and early to give yourself a good run out of the corner. I take this one in second because in first you can spin it quite easily, so if you use second you have a bit more traction. Can use this exit curb, it's not best for traction but it does open the corner up more. And then you want to be coming over to the right hand side for turn 9 and 10 to give yourself the best angle through the corner. So then you want to get turning in and you want to be braking just as the curb on the left starts. Oh well, quite a bit before actually in my case. You want to be trying to straighten the car as much as you can. You will be turning under braking as you can see with the wheel. The goal is to come out to this exit curb and then as you do get turned in. The goal again is to cut this inside curb as much as you can. Let the car roll round. As you leave the curb, you want to be on the power. Give yourself the best exit for the straight. Braking point for this one is halfway between the 100 and the 50, or the last dark blue patch on the barrier. And then you want to get turned in to cut this inside curve a little bit. Again, like the GT3, you can take a really wide line, or you can take a narrow one, which is the one I take. None of it matters. All that matters is at the end of this left-hander, you can get to the left-hand side to open the corner up for the right. So get as far left as you can, start turning just before the orange barrier. You can take this corner extremely quick in these cars with the downforce they have. So you want to get turned in. If you feel loose grip, give yourself a little lift just to get the car turned. And then when you can, get back on the power. What you want to do is avoid this exit curb, because you will see the mistake I make here. Get ready to brake at the Avis sign or the end of this fence panel is when you want to get on the brakes. The aim is to get turned in for a late apex. I missed the apex by an absolute country mile here. But what you want to be doing is getting turned in, and as you come off the curb, you want to be on the power, which will give you a good run round. Use a bit of the exit curb. I said I missed that apex by quite a lot, hopefully you won't. Braking point, again, there's an orange patch on the tarmac here. As that ends up to the 100 metre, that is your braking point. I brake at the orange. Get all the way down, turned in. You want to cut this inside curb here. Again, don't break track limits, because it is a hefty penalty in the race, or in qualifying you will invalidate the current and the next lap. So as you come off the curb, you want to be back on the power to give yourself a good run out. What I will do now is I will go back and do an in-car view without me yapping on, and then I'll do the exterior as well, so you just get an idea of car placement. I will go to an exterior view so you can get an idea of the placement of the car going around the track. And that is a track guide of the Bahrain WEC layout in the LMP2. I hope this video helps to get you familiar with the track in these cars. Again, practice coaching will be Tuesday evening around 20 to 8 PM UK time. Any questions, message me in the Discord, you know where I'm at. And I wish you luck for the race on Wednesday. Thank you for watching.